The African Cup of Nations kicked off this weekend, and we're going to use Football Manager 2024 to find out exactly who this year's game thinks will win the trophy. Who will lift the trophy this year? Let's jump ahead and see. Here we have a database with the exact groups for this year's African Cup of Nations. I found it on the Sports Interactive forums, and I will link the database in the description below. It has the real groups for the African Cup of Nations as well as a couple of other international fixes throughout the save game. What we'll do is we'll take a quick look through some of the teams, some of the big names, see who will stand out of the tournament. So with the Ivory Coast, obviously you've got Frank Kessie, Nicolas Pepe, Wilfried Zaha and Sebastian Haller. Nigeria, you have Victor Osimhen, Umar Sadiq, Chukwueze and Alex Iwobi, to name a few. Egypt, the biggest name in Egyptian and African football, is Mo Salah. They also have El Neni and Trezeguet in their side. And the tournament favourites at the moment is Senegal, with Edouard Mendy, Sadio Mane, Koulibaly, Nicolas Jackson, Idrissa Gana Gueye, just to name a few of their star players. And as well, the surprise package of the previous World Cup is Morocco. Hakimi, Mazraoui, Ziyech, El Nesri, Brahim Diaz, Bunu, an absolutely phenomenal side. So we're going to go to the end of the group stage, take a look, see who's qualified for the knockouts, and we'll then simulate from there on. So the group stages have completed, and we're going to run through the teams that have made it through to the knockout rounds. From Group A we have Nigeria, Ivory Coast and Equatorial Guinea. Egypt, Ghana and Mozambique qualify from Group B. Group C sees Cameroon and Senegal going through. Group D, Algeria and Mauritania going through, with Burkina Faso sneaking through in third place. Group E sees South Africa, Mali and Tunisia go through, with Group F surprisingly being won by Congo, with Morocco finishing in second to progress through to the next round. No massive shocks so far. We'll take a look at the second round and see who that brings up. So we've got Equatorial Guinea v Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Mozambique, Ghana v Egypt, the big tie so far, Senegal v Cameroon, Burkina Faso take on Mauritania, Algeria face Congo, Morocco, Tunisia and Mali v South Africa. So in the second round games we can see no surprises. Ivory Coast have knocked out Equatorial Guinea in extra time. That needed a Dacho Fofana goal in extra time to do that. Nigeria beat Mozambique 3-2 in a tighter game than expected, Victor Osimhen bagging 2 of the goals. And maybe surprisingly, Mo Salah's Egypt battered by Ghana 3-0. As well as this, Senegal needed extra time to knock out Cameroon, with Nicolas Jackson scoring in the additional time. Burkina Faso knocked out Mauritania, and Algeria maybe surprisingly been knocked out by Congo, who look like they could be the surprise package so far of this African Cup of Nations. We also see Morocco unfortunately being put out by Tunisia, the two North African nations coming head to head, and it's Tunisia that go through in penalties, with Mali scoring a late winner against South Africa to put them into the quarterfinals. Quarter-final time now, and we see the Ivory Coast besting Ghana 2-0. 2-0 up in the first half before Ghana losing all chances of a comeback in the 81st minute, with Sulemana being sent off. We then saw Tunisia with Hannibal, the Man United player, beating Burkina Faso 1-0, with Nigeria finally ending the run of Congo on penalties. Senegal also managed to secure their place in the semi-final with a 2-0 victory over Mali. Our first semi-final sees the end of Nigeria's run, as Sebastian Haller goal in the 39th minute secures Ivory Coast's place in the final. In the other semi-final we see Senegal beating Tunisia 2-1, goals from Sadio Mane and Nicolas Jackson, meaning that we have a third place playoff between Nigeria and Tunisia, and then a final between the Ivory Coast and Senegal. Comment down below at this moment who you think will win, Senegal, the tournament favourites, or the Ivory Coast with Frank Kessie at the heart of that midfield. And here we are for the final. Ivory Coast line up with some big names: Sergio Aurier, Diomande, Kessie in the midfield, Dacho Fofana, Wilfried Zaha, Seb Haller. Coming up against the tournament favourites Senegal with Edouard Mendy in goal, Koulibaly at the back, Idrissa Gana Gueye in the midfield, Mane and Sarr on the wings either side, with Nicolas Jackson up front. This is going to be a brilliant game, and we will see who Football Manager 2024 thinks will win this. The opening goal of the final came when Wilfried Zaha down the left hand side cuts in for Traoré to smash the ball past Mendy after the 6 minutes, before Niakate equalised from the penalty spot just after the hour mark. In extra time, Sangare to Kessie, Kessie to Adringra, round the left hand side, back to Kanate smashed the ball past Mendy, and here we have it. The winners of the African Cup of Nations in 2024 is the Ivory Coast, after an epic extra time victory over Senegal. Have Football Manager got this right? Will this be how the trophy presentation will look in just a couple of weeks' time, with the Ivory Coast lifting the trophy Comment down below if you're watching the AFCON Cup of Nations, if you are, who you're supporting, who you think will win, everything like that. And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will see you next time.